you would tell me when 1 minute, 2 minutes, that kind of stuff. Well, hi, this is Rick Gagey, and this is for the Order of Cheer Morris Street series, and Morris Street is what's left of a rather wonderful encampment of domestic displaced persons, or we're also called the homeless. And I want to talk about Morris Street. And I'm standing in front of my my 400,000 mile VW van that I've got my life piled into, and I'm lucky because I live with my wife, and a lot of people can't do that anymore. And so I am in my elder medicine man, one who knows persona right now, and I'm at a very magical place. If you look over my shoulder, you might be able to see a row of old RVs and camper trailers, and this is all that's left of what was called the Morris Street homeless encampment. And the city of Sebastopol and the Sonoma County actually committed a crime against humanity according to the 1949 Nuremberg trials, the Nuremberg Accords, where they said, and the United Nations said, it's a crime against humanity to punish a group of people for the transgressions of a few other people. And there's some people, they were transgressing by camping in this beautiful spot over here and living in cardboard boxes. And then this line of vehicles, that's all that's left of the place. They it was parking illegally if you parked for longer than 3 days. So the city can't get rid of this yet. Because it's legal in Sebastopol to park on the street as long as you move every so often. And anyway, what I want to do now is I want to tell you about my friend Lawrence Smith. And Lawrence Smith was a Pomo medicine man. He was called a Yumtha. He was one who knows. He was like me. I'm a Scottish Canadian medicine man, one who knows, teacher, healer, visionary, warrior, and he was like that. And he and I used to come down here all the time, and he would tell me about this place. And this was a Pomo heaven. This was a Pomo heaven, and I don't think the Pomo folks even had a word for war. And here they are, 30,000 people, he said, would live down here when the redwood forests and the ocean were damp and were growing mold. And there were oak forests here. And they had these wonderful piles of acorns for very magic food. And so this is a healing place. And not surprising that it became an encampment for homeless people. Or let's call them domestic displaced persons. And so here it is. It's a veil. This is a boundary line between realities. There's the reality of the business guys who want parking so that their customers can come and give them more money and have a good time. And it's also a very important place to the bicycle community. You see this is a bicycle path, and that's a bicycle path. And so it's important to the people who still get to live here because it's their home. And it may not be an attractive home. And I just waved to somebody. I'm running an experiment. When you wave to somebody who's driving by in this area, they'll wave back to you because they're frightened. And they're frightened and they're glad to see a gesture of, oh, Hi, I'm safe.
You're at 5 minutes.
And so Angie tells me I've got 5 minutes left.
You're at 5 minutes.
And I want you to know that I dream a new dream. I dream a dream where this wonderful place called Sebastopol really gets into its kindness. And that here behind the youth center, there's a refuge. And it's a gated community. You got to drive through a nice gate of flowers and bamboo. And then in there are people living in cardboard boxes and tents and RVs and old trailers. And that people go there for a good time. And that people say, hey, this is a nice place to hang out in. There are interesting people here. There are people who, they have seen the apocalypse. They have realized their worst fear, and they're living down here. I was living here for a while because I couldn't stay at home because I would get so angry at my wife. And I didn't want to get angry at my wife, and I didn't have enough money to check into a hotel. So anyway, I'm talking too much, but you got the gist of it. And you can help out. If you've got an RV, then find somebody to live in it. If you've got some space on your property, then find somebody that can put up a tent. And this is what happened in the Roman Empire. When the Roman Empire was crumbling, the people that had land, they had their homeless friends come and live there with them. And if you don't believe me, then go to, I think the guy's name was Cicero, and he wrote a whole big rule book of how he wanted people to behave when they were living on his estates. So you see, we're coming in, things are getting really scary. And they're getting so scary that some of us are saying, okay, how can I not be scared? How can I not be afraid of somebody who looks different than me? How can I not be afraid of somebody who's got different colored skin? So that's my rant for today, and I hope I get to make some more. So thank you very much for watching, and Angie, thank you very much for holding the camera.
Thank you,
And
Rick.
I hope this helps everybody.
And
I'm
so
having fun. And I'm 83 years old, and when most people hit 83, they're having a terrible time. But we can change that too. Okay, thank you for watching. And please make your videos about what makes you happy and what works for you. And even make videos of what you're afraid of. And also how you conquer your fear. Not conquer, you include your fear.